committee summer meeting. My name is Lisa Mann, and I am the chair of this meeting, and I am very honored to work with amazing task force members, chairs, and chairs-elect, as well as our Vice President of Professional Development. So today, what we would like to do is have an opportunity for you all to see what the Professional Development Committee has been up to since we all met last in person this past 2016 in October in New Orleans. And we just wanted to also invite everyone in our membership across the board to see what professional development is offering and why it is so valuable to be part of a task force and be a committee member, just to reap the number of benefits, and then also with the hope that you will go back to your states and just visit with your fellow membership and tell them, hey, look at all these opportunities that are going on professional development-wise throughout the year. So what I'd first like to do is, I know that everyone is scattered across the country, so I'm going to introduce Abby Smith. She is currently on another committee meeting, but hopefully she'll be able to jump on at some point. So when she does, she'll just jump in. She's great. And she is our Vice President of Professional Development, and she covers quite a few different areas. She's been wonderful in structuring the committee as well as helping with the task force so that we're offering all these different programs, whether they are virtual, whether they are written articles. She's been very driven so that our membership is starting to receive more professional development opportunities throughout the entire year. I'd also like to, some of our task force our chairs are, as you all know, summer is an incredibly hectic time. When isn't in extension? And so a lot of our task force chairs and members are currently at camp or have programs that they're out of the office, but they provided me with information. So if they cannot be here on our summer meeting, they send me the information, but we do have quite a few of our task force chairs here that will be going over the plans and work and just kind of visiting with everyone just to give an update. So I'd like to recognize our Balancing Family and Work. Our chair is Casey Hall, our chair-elect for Standing Floor. Our Diversity Task Force is chaired by Mandy Reed. Chair-elect is Isaac Collins. Our Teaching and Learning Task Force is chaired by Matt Min. And our chair-elect is Sonia Ferguson. Our virtual professional development is Victoria Thompson. Volunteerism is Jennifer Weifel. Chair-elect is Nolan Miller. And we have a brand new task force that Heather Denny is going to be all about. They're brand new for professional development. They were under the program area, but now we're very excited to have them. So, and actually Heather just sent me an email saying that she will be on as soon as possible. So I just wanted to thank all of the task members, all of the committee members for everything that they've done so far throughout the year, and just encourage all of you to see reap the member benefits that we're having. One of the main goals that we set out to do at the beginning of the year was really to strengthen the communication line, so members would start seeing beyond what our in-faith needs. Because as much as we all appreciate those, we know that when we get back into the middle of our program areas, we are very busy, and so it's so important that we keep connecting throughout the entire year, just so we are enriched, and then we're also in turn enriching our fellow members. So today is a good opportunity for anybody to say, hey, how do I become more involved? If you have questions, ask. Please do not hesitate, because that's our main goal, is we're wanting to get everyone to where they feel like they have some ownership, some buy-in, being involved, and why they want to be a part of it. So the first thing I wanted to do was briefly go over what a plan of work is, because this last March at our spring board meeting, it was an interesting discussion to see that some people, which I completely understand from our agents and our educator perspective, when we think of plan of work, sometimes we really think this huge concept of maybe 100 pages worth of documentation. With these task forces, our plans of work are all posted on the NAE4-HA website. We want everyone to see what each task force, what their strategic goals are, what the task force's whole definition, what is driving that task force to help serve its membership. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with balancing work and family, and again, this is chaired by Casey Hall out of Georgia, and one of the big things that their goal is to provide effective communication between the board and our membership. So when we look at the board meetings, I have not left a national board meeting so energized as this spring. The leadership is really striving to make the members feel its value and see the programs that are going to be offered throughout the entire year. It was a very cohesive group that I really truly working with them this last year. So one of those things that balancing family and work, as you can see on the screen, this is what the plan of work looks like. So one of the first objectives they have is to provide a new conference attendance meeting. What Victoria Allen and I are working on is trying to get this to be a virtual meeting so attendees will go in before I can sorry. Is everybody able to see the screen? It should be the plan of work. Hopefully, if you can't see anything, please let me know. But looking at this, we want to have a virtual meeting so attendees can walk into the national meeting in person and see, oh, hey, this is what this professional development is like. Where is it? Why should I go? What's the buy-in? And then also an overview of why there is a board meeting in the morning, why there are workshops in the afternoon. So the first timers will have the opportunity to go in and not just be blinded when they walk in by all these wonderful opportunities. So so Jennifer can see the documents, but no one else can. Let's see.
Lacey, it's Victoria. I can't see the documents either.
Did that one work? I just threw it up again.
When you did that, it said on my screen that it was waiting to load your screen, and then nothing happened after that.
Oh. Sorry, everyone. So it seems like it's hit and miss.
I would say just keep explaining and keeping in mind some of us can't see it. I'm not sure what to do.
Well, if anybody would like to, I will dump the email here. How about this? I am going to, in the message box, I'm going to drop the link for what I'm going over right now. And then everybody can click on that if you cannot see the screen. I'm terribly sorry about that. So, continuing on with what the Balancing Family Work would like to have is that virtual meeting this fall, so they can at least give that to the first timers. They're also working on a first timers pamphlet that hopefully, would be a good refresher for any of our members to actually pick up so they could take it at our national meeting and then encourage others to be involved. Our next task force is diversity, and diversity is, we're very fortunate to have a diversity task force in all of our committee areas. So when we're thinking about diversity, it's important that we find diversity in all of our program areas. And so one of their goals is to basically maximize the use of technology, because obviously we know that there is socioeconomic diversity, geographic diversity, and it's important that we're looking at how diversity impacts us on a daily basis, and how do we reach those underserved audiences with our work. So what they have been working on is quarterly newsletters, They're working on having presentations, especially focused. They're very excited because they have Isaac and Mindy have been working together to connect resources. So right now they're going to be partnering with Kentucky because Kentucky has developed some online resources that will be very beneficial just as a bank for us to all go to and share. They're also looking at Kentucky's Diversity and Extension webinar series. So hopefully they can take some information from that and provide it to our membership. They're really hoping to have a Cultivating Change seminar focusing on the LGBTQ community in agriculture, and also to help share that with Throughout Extension. So, moving on, into our Teaching and Learning Task Force, Matt and Sonia have done a wonderful job of leading that throughout the year. They have quarterly meetings, they write monthly articles, they provide webinars. Matt, unfortunately, came under the weather this morning, and so he couldn't be here, but he has really kicked off the task force this year, and it's getting it over to Sonia next year will be a very smooth, dynamic transition. So Matt also, hopefully, if things go well, if everything goes as planned, Matt will be Professional Development Committee Chair-elect following our national meeting this coming November. So Victoria, would you like to I'd like to turn it over to you, and I will give you the sharing screen option if you would like to talk about virtual.
All right. Thank you so much, Lacey. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I am Victoria Tillery Allen, and I have been the task force chair of the Virtual Professional Development since New Orleans, and I'm very new to the organization and very new to this role. But Lacey and Abby Smith, our VP, have been excellent in helping me get prepared for this role. But our Virtual Professional Development Task Force is very unique in that we are in charge of the monthly webinars that do go out once a month on behalf of NAE4-HA. And it's a really great opportunity because I get to work closely with our chairs and our VPs, and I also get to work closely with other task forces. And what we do and what we offer to everyone are these monthly opportunities to share on any topic that relates back to your task force. We do want these webinars to go through task forces, and so if you are not part of a task force, we highly encourage you to find a task force that suits your passions and your things that you're excited about, so that way you can get plugged in with that task force, and then through the task force you guys can come up with a monthly webinar that you can present to the membership. And it's a great process, and we have a lot of new ways of doing it this year. So you do have to do a proposal, and there's an online submission form for that, and you guys can do one of those, and that online submission form is on our website, but it also goes out in those email blasts every month as well. So if you are connected with a task force and you think you have a great presentation to share with the membership, get with your task force chair, you guys talk about it and submit that that form, and then you will be notified by Lacey, myself, or Abby Smith if you are selected for that month's webinar. And then from there, I will walk you through what you need to do to be prepared for when you actually do present, and we ensure that we ask questions and we promote the webinar the best that we can, and we do that through email. And so we are working on different and new age ways to promote the webinar, but so far email is the best, and I'm sure you guys have seen our blasts go out. And so we really rely on the volunteer or the Virtual Professional Development Task Force to help approve PowerPoints that come through, to help select those presentations in case there's multiple that apply for 1 month and that kind of thing. But just as a plug, while I'm on here today, we are looking for presentations for a lot of the upcoming months. And so if you, like I said, if you have a presentation out there that you think would definitely benefit the membership, we ask for you to go ahead and get with that task force, get that submission form in, and you guys will be set to do a webinar for our membership. And so that is the overview of our Virtual Professional Development Task Force.
And one thing that I'd like to add is that if you see presentations in your state and you say, hey, this would be a great webinar topic, and you're wondering which task force to really connect with, which would be the best to serve you to get through it, please do not hesitate to contact Victoria, myself, or Abby, and we can connect you with the right task force, because that's what is really exciting about these virtual webinars, is that it gives you the opportunity. It gives people more opportunities to have those presentations in national formats. When getting, whether you're looking for that professionally or you just have this topic that you're just dying to share, please let us know, because this is a wonderful format. Victoria, before I was on as a chair, I was able to present, and it's easy. It's good information that you can share and and receive. So moving on now, thank you, Victoria. Jennifer, would you be able to talk about volunteerism for us, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. The volunteerism task force, and I'm not sure if you can see my screen or not, but it doesn't matter. The task force, I've been the chair for our task force for 2 years now, and this year we decided to stay better connected. We were going to have calls bi-monthly, and we decided to do that just to stay connected and stay up to speed with one another and to keep each other on track in sharing resources. As the volunteerism task force, our main goal is to make sure that the professionals that are part of NAE4-HA have some additional resources and have access to resources that support them in working with volunteers. Because we know how critical that is in all of our positions across the organization. So we just want to make sure that people are aware of many of the resources that are out there that have been developed that people can use. And so many of us are willing to share what we have developed with our colleagues. So we want to make sure that that sharing is happening. Our task force has shared this year one of the virtual professional developments back in April. Our task force did one on recognition. Last year we did one in October that talked about volunteerism as well. We are going to be doing another article for the newsletter. I believe in August is our date coming up. We are in the process of gathering resources and getting them organized around the ICER model. So that if you're looking for something related to identify, select, orientate, train, utilize, recognize, or evaluating your volunteers, that there are some resources there that people from across the nation have the opportunity to share, so that you have access to those, so that there's a space for those to be housed. We're a small group of 6 of us right now. We would welcome anyone that's interested in the area of volunteerism to join us at the conference, or if you would like to join one of our calls, we meet on the even month. Is when we do a Zoom call. It's typically about an hour, and if we're done sooner, we get off sooner, but that's an hour that you can kind of reserve on your calendar to think about volunteerism issues and be energized or problem solve with some other members from NAE4-HA. So it's a really good group, and next year the chair will be Jolyn Miller from California. So I'm looking forward to staying involved with the group. It's a nice opportunity to find out what's going on in different regions across the country. So I would really encourage everyone to get engaged with one of these task forces.
Wonderful, thank you. So, with the Healthy Living is the new task force that just moved over in March, at the spring board meeting. The board voted to move Healthy Living from the Programs Committee over to Professional Development because they thought it was going to be a positive fit. And so far, poor Heather just had to run to pick up a kid that was a little bit ill at camp. So she will be jumping on here a little bit later, so she'll be able to give you a little bit bigger of an overview of task force. But what I'd like to do now is, first of all, does anybody have any questions for the task force chairs or myself about these plans of work? Do they make sense? Would you like to, what kind of questions would you guys have about being on the committee?
I don't know whether you can hear me or not.
I can hear something, it's just a little muffled, but Abby Smith also joined us, so we're very happy to have her on here. And I know after this question and answer, I'm sure Abby would love to chime in and just give an overview of professional development. But did you have, I'm sorry, who said that?
This is Judy Breland, and I'm in Mississippi.
Hi,
I got a notice about this. Now, I am a member of the association, but I really do more FCS than I do 4-H. So I may be misput in your group. I wasn't exactly sure. I just got the email, so I joined you. So I'm not sure if I am.
No, welcome, Judy. We love to have everyone. That was one of the main goals of having the professional development committee meeting, so that we could advertise and just show opportunities for people to see what the committee is doing and how to be involved and how we can connect throughout the entire year. So does anybody have?
Lacey, this is Victoria, and Doug in the chat box had a great question about presenters for this is from the Virtual Professional Development Task Force, but he had a great question about presenters being able to get credit for presenting nationally like they would at a conference. And I wrote him back in the chat box, but I just wanted to address it so that you guys could hear too, that yes, you do get the same type of credit that you would get by presenting on a virtual webinar, just like you would by presenting at conference. And so you do get that national credit that we kind of were talking about before. So that was a great question, Doug.
Thanks, Victoria. This is Doug, and the reason I brought that up is because I've recruited some people for national webinars before, and they said within their own land grant system, they aren't recognized for that, even if, like, the association or here at DEFA would say it was a national event. I just wondered if people are having trouble getting credit for it from their institutions.
I would say across the board, most people are not having an issue getting recognition from their institutions. Most things that I have heard is that, yes, they do get that credit by their institutions. So far, so good from our end. If anyone has had a problem with that, let us know so that there might be something we could do to help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it is so important that, as you all are aware, professionally, there are, whether you're going through tenure or whatever process your university requires, anything that we can do to help, because I mean, obviously you are putting forward quite a bit of effort to research and present. And as much as we all know that travel budgets are tight, and this is just one more outlet that NAE4-HA is trying to provide, so people are receiving professional development and presentation opportunities. So please do not hesitate. Does anyone else have any questions? Please. I mean, how many of you have participated in a webinar over the last year or two? No crickets at all there.
Lacey. This is Kevin Harris with Ohio State University, and I'm the diversity representative, and I'm kind of new to this, not to the organization, but I'm trying to learn more about my role on the diversity committee, and I kind of glanced at what you had pulled up, but I'm just trying to gather how can I be more connected with this task force.
Absolutely. So we'd love to have you be a part of that. I'm going to send you, I can send the link. Here's what the plan of work looks like. And then what you can do is Mandy Reed, and her email and her phone, her mobile, and her office number are on there. She's currently at camp this week, but she would happily respond to having you join the task force, or at least get a taste of the task force and then connect with her, because that is one task force that really is always looking for more people to be involved. And so Mandy would be your first person to contact because she's the current chair. And then if anything, also copy Isaac on your contact. And however we can get you connected would be great. And I will also send her a message saying that you would be interested in helping out or connecting with her.
Thanks, Lacey.
Yeah. So, Mary Lou, if you don't mind, which task force would you be interested in, and we can help connect you to that task force? Or if you're just interested in seeing what all of them are, I know that all of the chairs are very open to having anybody that's interested at least contact them or sit in on one of their, whether they meet monthly or quarterly on any of their conference call or Zoom or GoToMeeting, whatever their format is. We'd love to have people participate. And thank you everyone that has commented in the chat box about their participation with the webinars. And Mary Lou, I will send you the task force. What state are you in, Mary Lou? Okay, I will look for you. Hold on 1 second on that one, and I'll send it to you. Abby, are you available to just visit and give kind of an overview of your role and what you see happening with the committee? Hopefully. Okay. Well, if not, hopefully Heather and Abby can join us in a little bit. But does anybody have any, McKenna just wrote, do the task force have a vision statement that we could share with colleagues? Absolutely. Would it be easier to send a link to everyone to find, so they know on our website where everything is? Or what would be the best way? Because I could email all of you.
Lacey, I think it would be good if, like you did the other link, just kind of show so they could have it in their chat box, and then afterwards we could also email as well. But just so they could get the contact names of everybody who's the task force chairs and all of that information, because it should be on our website.
Perfect. I'm typing in the chat box right now. It's the link to the professional development team. If you can't see it on the screen, let's see.
All right, thank you.
Hopefully everyone can pull that up, and you'll see the team, how our team is structured, who the team members are, what the professional development committee has with our task force, and then you can also see the research and evaluation committee is also on there, which that is chaired by Mary Arnold, and she's out of Oregon, and she's incredibly sharp when it comes to evaluation. But with our task forces, volunteerism, balancing work and family, diversity, teaching and learning, virtual professional development, and then healthy living will soon be on there. So we're really looking forward to the rest of our year to see what all is in there. So is everybody able to see that? And poor Abby commented that her mic is not working. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that screen now. Oh, good. Good, good. And everyone has that link. So are there any questions that anybody has as far as maybe why? Hopefully this gives an opportunity for everyone to see where the task forces are in their plan of work, what a plan of work is. I mean, I know that this was a very brief overview, but the chairs and the chair-elects have been working so diligently throughout the year. And we have been meeting quarterly. Our next meeting will be in August. And that's when the chairs and the chair-elects and I will all sit down and visit and just see where the progress is on the plan of work. Are we writing our newsletter articles? Are we submitting our blurbs? And hopefully everyone is able to see these blurbs and articles that are coming across in our e-news, our monthly e-news. Has everybody been able to check those out? Because I know the board, the regional directors, were very excited about the new delivery method for the membership, the monthly membership news, as well as hopefully you've been able to see the different videos. Our president, Sean, when he was one of the first ones to launch and just talk about the different material that would start showing up in the newsletter. Okay, so Jennifer said that she has a question about the conference. It seems there are 2 meetings for the task force I'm interested in, and one conflicts with another meeting. Do you know? Let's see. I'm looking at a very rough conference schedule, and depending on which meetings are overlapping, if you can't make one of the task force, please don't hesitate just to let myself know or the chair-elect know that you are interested. You will not be penalized for not being present in the meeting. Please know that. Right now, the way that we have our committee meetings set up is that the professional development committee will meet. We'll update the plans of work for the upcoming year, because at the face-to-face conference meeting is when the plans of work are the final update for the plan of work is there, so everybody can kind of discuss it. What will happen in August, backing up, is that I will send out the plans of work to see for everyone so the chairs and chair-elects can go over those so they can start getting an update going. So by the time that we hit conference in November, it can really be ready to go, and so that way all the task force can do that. Thank you, Jennifer. There is not an application. Thank you. We would just basically we want people there that are willing to work and communicate and work together. So absolutely. Is there anything else that anyone would like to ask or would like to see? What would you like to see from professional development?
I have one question.
Sure.
I may echo a little bit here because I don't know if other people are muted or not, but I'm a member of the Balancing Work and Task Force and Balancing Work and Family Task Force. And now that the healthy living is moving over to professional development, I'm wondering if we might be able to combine those since they have such similar emphasis.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is definitely that can definitely be a conversation piece. Absolutely. Depending on what we can visit with Abby, I'd really like to visit with Abby first before I say yes or no, and then also just making sure that we get our chairs all together to see what the strategic goals are together, and then see if they do align and how they would line up together. So, but no, that's a great conversation piece that we can start having. I'll put that on the August agenda.
Great, thank you.
So for finding funding sources for our programs, that is a great topic of course, I have a feeling that we're all in the hunt for money. As money is tight, especially in extension work. Hopefully we can find that's a good topic that we can definitely put down as something to look forward to. Do you have any resources that you would recommend that we look at first?
I think, Lacey, just looking at the question about finding funding sources, I think that would be a great topic for a virtual professional development webinar. And we do at the end of our webinars have those evaluations that ask for topics that you guys would like to see. And I think that would be a great one. And we could definitely start brainstorming, Lacey, on who could maybe get one of those for us, or if somebody has a great presentation about funding already out there, to contact us so we could get them with the task force. But that would be a great topic for a professional development webinar too.
Absolutely. This funding database webinar, do you mind that sounds great. Do you mind where that would be? Where did you come across that? I know, I'm sorry. I'm putting you on the spot. I don't mean to do that. Wonderful. Wonderful.
You know what? I ain't learning nothing. Ooh, I ain't got nothing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, unfortunately, I don't think that Heather's necessarily going to be able to join us. And poor Abby. Oh, is everybody able to see that with the Maryland? The Research Development Office, hopefully everyone's able to see that in the chat box. Well, I do want to tell you all how much I appreciate you taking the time out of your summer schedule to meet with us, and hopefully we've given you at least a little bit of insight to see what the professional development committee is up to and how we can continue. That's our main goal. We want to make sure that we are delivering programs for you and really strengthening not only our membership but also ourselves in the process. And so hopefully we can continue this communication and this engagement. Please look for the webinars. As Victoria said, we do have a webinar this Wednesday coming up, and if you need any questions on that, please do not hesitate to email or call any of us. We'd love to have you, and for anybody that would like to present, please, we absolutely would love to have more. Topic areas vary across the board, but they are always very encouraging and engaging on that. And we hope that this will at least give you a little opportunity that you know that the task forces are out there and what they do and why you should be a part of it. So we do appreciate everyone joining us today. And please, we hope to see you in person in November, but if not, we'd love to at least visit with you beforehand. So I do appreciate everyone taking the time. I really do. And if anybody doesn't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and end this meeting.
Thank you, Lacey.
Thank you, Lacey. Thank you. And I will send you some information on evaluation.